I don't have any Pepsi Max today, so today's little segment is brought to you by Sam's Choice Purified Drinking Water with flavor-enhancing minerals. So, yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad. You know, I really don't want my water enhanced with anything. I just want water. Just filter it and then put it in a bottle and give it to me. But I like this. I like this water. I like this even better than name brands. A lot of the name brands, you know, like Dasani or whatever. You know, I don't know. But anyway, and you get 20-ounce bottles too. And I think you get. I think there's like 6 packs or $2.50. No, 12. Is it 6 pack? Is it? It's either 6 or 12. You get. I think you get 12. I think you get 12. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think you shut up. I'm going to shut up. Anyway, I like this. I like the Sam's Choice water. So that's the plug for today. So, Walmart, you want to send me some, you know, lifetime supply of Sam's Choice drinking water, fortified with minerals? I'd be appreciative. So anyway, I haven't done anything in a while, you know, you kind of for YouTube or for Dead Pit or anything like that, other than reviewing movies. You know, haven't done any video segments or anything, and the last one being the tour of the Dawn props that went on forever. What was that, like 40 minutes or something? I hope this will be shorter. I'm going to certainly try to make this one shorter. But, and as you can see, the afro is cut down. It's got that, not shaved, but, you know, cut down. But the people out there that are fans of the afro, J-Reel's afro, it's on its way. This is an afro in training, but it's not there yet. So, but anyway, I thought maybe I would do what a lot of people have been doing, is, you know, Cool Duder and of course CK and Uncle Bill and such as that had been sort of talking about their DVD collections and what they got recently, and CK in particular has been doing these segments about getting DVDs cheaply and the things he's got. And I think that's an interesting, you know, series of videos. It's very informative, and particularly for me, because these days I almost never buy DVDs full price anymore. I don't have the money, and what little money I have, I'm saving to buy another camera. We'll get to that later. You know, there's an auction currently on the Dead Pit boards, and you know, you might be familiar with that auction, but we'll get to that later. Right now, and behind me you can see the subject of the auction, maybe. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Right now, though, I wanted to get to what I've purchased recently cheaply, and what I thought about the purchases and that sort of thing. And of course, Big Lots has been currently talked about a lot, because they've got single disc DVDs, usually for $3, and a lot of, you know, popular titles and things you wouldn't expect to see for $3, you know. And where Walmart was in the limelight as far as cheap DVDs with their $5 bin, and of course they still have that. Now Big Lots has kind of usurped their limelight with the $3 DVDs that they have. And I thought I'd go over some of the things I picked up at Big Lots first. The thing is with me is the closest Big Lots is 40 miles away, maybe a little over 40 miles away, in Waco, Texas. I'm in Bahia, Texas. And I don't drive because of my eyesight. You know, I'm 50% blind. So I don't drive a car. Whenever I go to Waco, it's always going to be with a friend. And I have a friend, you know, of course, Ray Boucher, you know Ray Boucher, and my other friend, Barry Martin, which I've known all my life. And we'd like to go to Waco and see a movie, you know. Trying to think, well, we saw Tropic Thunder recently, and which I highly recommend. Hilarious movie, Tropic Thunder. But anyway, and we'll go eat, and then we'll go stop at, lately we've been stopping at Big Lots to see what the deal is with the DVDs. And finally, they put in, I think it's the MGM titles. They put a display there. Finally, they put those in. They were kind of slow in kind of getting the DVDs that have been advertised a lot, like on, you know, Dead Pit and such they talk about. But they finally did get some of those titles, and I don't know if any of these are, some of these might be MGM titles or mixed up or anyway. But anyway, first Big Lots, okay. In this recent trip to Waco, stop at Big Lots. One of the things I got, it's not $3, it was $7, but I got the Species box set. Of course, it's the 3 movies, and it's a bonus disc. It's the movies, and then there's a bonus disc with a bunch of like featurettes and extras and interviews and such as that. And $7, I don't know what retail is for this. I want to say Walmart had it for like $20 when it first came out, but I'm not a huge fan of the Species. I've only seen the first movie, so I still haven't watched the sequels. But I like Species, the original. Of course, what's her name? Nastasia Henstridge. I don't know how to pronounce her name. What's her name? Yeah, Nastasia Henstridge. Anyway, she gets naked in it, and so that's a plus. In Species, the first one, and I guess she's in. Is she in the others too? I think she is. But anyway, at least I believe she's in the third movie. I don't know if she's in the second one or not. I think maybe she is. But anyway, shows what I know about the Species series. But anyway, I saw the first movie in the theaters. I think I actually saw that with my friend Barry, and I enjoyed it. It's sort of schlocky, it's sort of campy, and of course it's got very outdated CGI now. Because when was it shot? It was in the 90s, wasn't it? First movie, 1995. So yeah, I mean it's not a great movie. It's kind of it's got the guy that did the Alien design, Geiger, H.R. Geiger, Giger or Geiger. I think it might be Giger, but anyway, he designed the Species. What was her name? Seal. Anyway, designed the creature designs, and then he's a nut. He's like a German or something like that. And then there's a little segment with him, I think, on the bonus disc, working in his shop and stuff. Or it may be actually an extra on the movie itself, but I like watching him work. He's crazy, and these designs he have are really elaborate and very grotesque, and and I always enjoyed his designs, and just watching him work is fascinating. But anyway, the Species box set. For $7, I'd recommend it. I mean, they're not great. It's not a great movie, and I haven't seen the sequels. They're probably, shit on toast. But anyway, $7 for 4 DVDs. So why not? In that same trip, of course, it's not horror, but do you guys remember Thunderbirds? Those marionettes, very creepy marionettes. I think they were done in Britain or something like that. Super marionettes or something like that. I forget what they call them, but they were puppets, string puppets that flew spaceships and had these adventures and all that, and they put out this Thunderbirds set, which is 2 Thunderbirds movies, a bunch of extras. You get some magnets. I don't know if I'm holding that up right. You get a sheet of magnets, see? Yeah. Put on your refrigerator. And you also, on the back of the box, which I'm not going to do it, probably, but the back of the box is, you can cut out these cut-out things, pop these out, and you can make spaceships. You can make Thunderbird spaceships. So that's cute. $5. Paid $5 for this. And I've watched some of the extras, but I haven't watched the movies themselves. But I remember as a kid watching some of the Thunderbird, shows on TV and just being creeped the hell out by these talking marionette puppets. It was just weird. And am I doing this again? Am I looking off to the side again? I'm trying to look at the camera, but anyway, yeah. $5 for this. Got this at Big Lots for $5. Not bad. I'm sure when this was a good, probably close to $20 too when this came out, but I don't know what the original SRP was for it. Okay, now on previous hunts at Big Lots, I was really proud to get this because I've been looking for this for a long time, and seeing it, kind of pricey. in like on eBay and stuff. It may be out of print, I don't know, but it's kind of hard to find. It's hard for me to find the Hitcher, the original Hitcher. And so yeah, got that, $3. Got that at Big Lots. Big fan of the Hitcher. You know, Rutger Hauer, and C. Thomas Howell, of course, and really good 80s slasher sort of thriller. You know, I don't know, a slasher movie, but you know, kind of a thriller, horror thriller, whatever you want to call it, action thriller. The Hitcher, one of my favorite 80s flicks. Got that, $3. The Changeling with George C. Scott. I remember seeing this, I think, like on HBO back in the 80s, and I don't remember a damn thing about it. And I still haven't watched the DVD yet, but $3. So, at the Changeling. $3. Got that the same day I got the Hitcher. And then more recent, I think that the trip before last, I picked up a few. I got Scanners. Still one of the best practical makeup effects, or I guess that's what you call practical effect, is the exploding head in Scanners. I remember renting this on VHS and running that effect backwards and frame by frame and such as that. And, you know, it shows a little age, but it's still a very, very cool and very effective effect, that exploding head in Scanners. But I watched the whole movie for the first time on DVD. Even back when I rented it on VHS, I was just wanting to see the exploding head, and then I would kind of get bored with the story itself. Finally watched the entire movie recently and really enjoyed it. I mean, really got into it. There's good performances, good story, well-paced. But I'll watch anything these days, anything that David Cronenberg does. He's one of my all-time favorite directors, or has become. So got the Scanners, $3. Heavy Traffic. Okay, this is Ralph Bakshi. I don't know if you know of Ralph Bakshi, but of course he did Fritz the Cat, which is probably his most famous movie, which was, you know, kind of an adult animated movie in the 70s, I think late 70s, mid to late 70s, something like that, I think. But Fritz the Cat, I think it was rated X at the time. You know, it's not so shocking these days. I've got a copy of it too, but he incorporated, and he did some of the, I think he did Lord of the Rings, one of those movies, and he's done a bunch of films. You may remember Cool World, I think, at Ken Basinger, I think was the last Hollywood movie he did, and that was in the early 90s, I think. But anyway, Heavy Traffic. And this incorporates, one of the things he did often was he did rotoscoping, where he, you know, took live actors that acted out parts, and then the animation was drawn over them. And, you know, he was one of the innovators of rotoscoping. And so Heavy Traffic, $3. And this movie is 1973. So it has kind of a sort of a psychedelic, almost 60s psychedelic vibe to it almost, but it's still very, I mean, it's kind of hard to describe, but I mean, it's sort of like a life in the streets, life in slum neighborhoods, and, you know, living life like that. Very scattershot, very sort of strange. You know, it gets into some strange musical numbers, and if you know Ralph Bakshi, you know his style, and this is very much in his style. Heavy Traffic, $3 at Big Lots. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of Michael Moore as a person, but I like his documentaries. I think he's too much of a blowhard. I don't like to watch him. You know, personally, I don't like to watch him when he's talking. But I like his documentaries. And Bowling for Columbine, I think, is a great documentary. One of his best. Like I say, I'm kind of on the fence about him. I don't really care for him as a person. But I like his movies. So there you go. $3 at Big Lots. Okay, excuse me. And the last one here I got for you is Ringers, Lord of the Fans, which is a documentary about fans of... well, it's kind of a multi-part documentary, all about Lord of the Rings. It's about the fans, and you know, kind of, in one respect, but also it gets into the whole origins of Lord of the Rings and Tolkien and how it was written and all the books, and really is a really comprehensive overview of the whole mythology and the series of books and everything. Not only about the fans of the movies, but but it incorporates everything: the movies, the books, the history, the following in the '60s, with the hippies and all that, and its impact on music and everything. So, if you like, I love documentaries. I watch a documentary about making cardboard boxes. So I love documentaries, and I thought this was really good. Ringers, and $3 at Big Lots. Okay, now let's get to Walmart in their infamous $5 bin. Okay, and if I keep looking off to the side, let me apologize to that. I don't have eyesight in my left eye. I have just very, very, very minimal eyesight. I see like blurred colors and such. And my vision tends to shift. And it's just something I've done all my life. I don't really know what my eye doctor could tell you why I do that, but I don't know why I do that. But anyway, let me apologize if I'm doing that. I'm not realizing I'm doing it, but I still do it. But anyway. Anyway, $5. This wasn't $5. I got it at Walmart, but this wasn't $5. This was $7, I think. But I had to have it. And of course, it's the Psycho trilogy, and it doesn't include the original, but it includes Psycho 2, 3, and 4. And already, I think CK has talked about these movies, so I'm not going to talk about them. But anyway, I got this for $7 at Walmart. Had to have it, and really looking forward to it. I don't think it's come out yet, but it's a special edition of Psycho. I don't have Blu-ray. I'm not against Blu-ray, so CK, don't get mad at me. I think Blu-ray is probably fantastic, but I don't have the money and the funds for neither an HD TV or a Blu-ray player, so I'm still with regular definition. But anyway, I think they're coming up with a high-definition version of the original Psycho, but also a regular definition version too, and I really want that. I think it's a 2-disc set and all that, and then my Psycho collection will be complete. But this is 2, 3, and 4. Psycho 2 is great, I think. Psycho 3 is Psycho 4 is but anyway, you got to have them. So there you go. Paid $7 for that at Walmart. Two that I got, they're both 2-disc sets. This one's got a loose cover thing, piece of it there. Movie I saw in the theater and I always really enjoyed, Rob Reiner's Princess Bride. And this is the Buttercup edition. They come out with 2 editions. I forget what the other character's name is, but this is the Buttercup edition. But anyway, 2 discs, lots of extras, commentaries, the whole ball of wax. $5 at Walmart. If you're a fan of this movie or a fan of Rob Reiner's movies, I remember seeing this in the theater. Really enjoyed it. I've rented it several times and glad to finally have it in my collection. Princess Bride. $5 at Walmart. And a movie that I'm not crazy about it, but I still think it's funny, and of course I'm a fan of Mel Brooks' early stuff, Young Frankenstein, and his early stuff, but this one is still pretty funny, Spaceballs, and this is another 2-disc set, and it's got equally amount of extras, bunch of extras, commentaries, all kinds of stuff. 2 discs, Spaceballs, $5 at Walmart. Blazing Saddles, of course, is the epitome of Mel Brooks, but this is cute, his spoof of Star Wars, Spaceballs. $5 at Walmart. And I got this recently. I'm very fond of the movie. Juno came out, and of course Ellen Page was really heralded in that movie, and of course Juno was nominated for Best Picture and all that. I like Juno. Something about that dialogue, though, that sort of, I don't know. What's the deal, home skillet or something like that? What I'm talking about, that dialogue. It doesn't ring true to me. It's just like no one talks like that. Not even teenagers talk like that. Please, Honest to blog, who talks like that? Nobody talks like that. And that dialogue really got to me. It irritated the hell out of me for like the first half hour. Then they started to sort of ease up on that, and the story started to kick in, and Ellen Page's performance and everything, and the story, and I enjoyed it. So I did like Juno, but what I think her Ellen Page's best performance, at least so far, is in the first one that I saw her in. Maybe the first movie she did, I don't know, but it's Hard Candy. What's interesting about this movie is she's kind of the hero in the movie, and yet she becomes very, very unlikable. You're at the fence whether you're on her side or the other guy's side, and the other guy's a right bastard. But anyway, I won't get into the plot. If you haven't seen it, definitely need to see Hard Candy. It is it's very dialogue heavy. It's almost like a play, but story-wise, performances-wise, it is riveting. I don't know what you would call it, a thriller or a character study or what you would call it, but Hard Candy, go get Hard Candy, and you can get it at Walmart for $5. At least I got it at Walmart for $5. So definitely recommend it. Now this one is funny. First, let me preface this by saying I am not a fan of NASCAR. I have never in my life watched a complete NASCAR race. Never. I have nothing against it. If you're if you're fans of NASCAR, I think that's fantastic. Whatever floats your boat and rocks your cradle and whatever. But I am not a fan of NASCAR. Don't watch NASCAR. Although, at Walmart, they had this metal box of Dale Earnhardt. Dale, it's called. And it's, good Lord, I forget how many discs it is. It's narrated by Paul Newman, the original is. Six discs. It's got this letter of authenticity, here. Like I say, it's narrated by Paul Newman. It's got this booklet thing here with it, and it's got all the DVDs in it. It's like, here's a reproduction, I think, of a ticket to NASCAR and crap like that. And it's in a attractive metal box. Now here's why I got it. I got it for $3. And Walmart were just trying their best. Ray Boucher, my friend Ray Boucher, who you've seen in some of these segments here, he works at Walmart. And he informed me, he said, we're trying to get rid of these damn things. We got a huge supply of them. We couldn't move them, so we're selling them for $3. And I went, well, what the hell, I'll pick one up. And I bought one for $3. I actually watched the first disc, which is the documentary about Dale Earnhardt, who of course died, during one of the races. He smashed into a sidewall or whatever you call it, and it killed him. And, like I say, I'll watch any kind of documentary, and I thought it was pretty well done. Even though I'm not a fan of NASCAR, I thought it was pretty well done, so I watched that. I haven't watched any of the other 5 discs. But anyway, another footnote about this is it went from $3 to $1. And so I got I think I got 2 or 3 more. I think I got 2 more for a $1 piece. So, anybody want a copy of Dale? I got them for $1, so I can't ask much for it. But anyway, that pretty much covers that. As far as the cheap discs I got, I just thought maybe I would do a little segment and just cover that and talk about that. And since other people have been doing that, maybe I would do that and sort of give you some sort of idea of the kind of stuff that I gravitate to. Although why you would care, I don't know. But it's just something to do, and thought I'd do that. And so let's end this with talking about this teddy bear behind me here. Don't tear down my light shade. Okay, Penny Bear, and I won't go. We've already seen Penny Bear, and the last thing I did a overview of the props of Dawn, and like I say, ridiculously long, like 40 minutes. I don't know how long this has been. Hopefully this hasn't been 40 minutes, good God. But anyway, here we go. Penny Bear. This is currently, this kind of happened as a spontaneous thing on the Dead Pit message boards, and it's on auction. And Dr. Blood at the boards bid $200 on it. So it's at $200, and so it probably will go for $200. But should you want to bid on Penny, And this is the way it is, and this is the way you're going to get it. It is, you know, it's got some nicks and you know, because it's, the movie was shot in 2002, Dawn. This is the teddy bear used most in Dawn that played Penny. This is the one you see most often. With the duct tape on its ear, on its neck. It's got Penny written on the tag here. If you remember, Penny's name is revealed in the movie on that tag. This is the bear that was used in the movie the most. There's other, I guess you'd call prop pennies, you know, that were used for different incarnations of Penny as it gets torn up, gets its head ripped off, and all that. Its head isn't actually ripped off and put back on. It's just duct tape around its neck and on its back and all that. And it's got a little tear in its foot here, you know. I'm going to leave that as is. If Doc wants to repair Penny's foot, the little hole there, then feel free. But that's the way it is in the movie, so I want to keep it as authentic as possible. I'm not going to do anything to Penny. This is the Penny that was in the movie, and this is the way that the winner shall receive it. And the reason, you know, $200 sounds ridiculous, and probably is for a teddy bear. But as I had stated, I'm saving up to buy a high-definition camera, and I found one. It's a Canon HV20, I think, and there's an HV30 too. And they're about the same price. I found it from around $700, and it's a high-definition camera. And the next movie, still in the script stages, still in the planning stages. This movie ain't going to come out next year, folks. So, I mean, not likely, but it takes a while to make a movie and all that. So, anyone that's been involved in that sort of thing knows it takes a while to plan and plot and cast and all that and shoot and everything. But right now, it's in the planning stages. The first draft has been written. The second draft is being fleshed out. Of not really a sequel to Dawn, because Adam Beck wrote on the boards, you can't make a sequel to Dawn, and you really can't, and I'm not going to. Dawn is Dawn, and that story has been told. This is kind of like, at the end of Dawn, what happens next with another group of this same type of creatures, or vampires, if you want to call them vampires, that were in Dawn. There's several on the Earth that's been established in Dawn that are, roaming around trying to live the best, to eke out a life the best they can, because they have to do it in the shadows and undercover and such. Well, what happens with a group of those? And that's what the next movie is about. Tentative title is Dawn of the Hunter. Kind of a, cutesy way of having Dawn in every movie. If there's going to be a trilogy or a sextuplet or whatever of films, probably not, but Dawn of the Hunter, that's the tentative title. That may change. But anyway, Penny the Bear. This is on auction. $200 is the opening bid and will likely be the closing bid. But should you want to bid, you can go to deadpit.com, join the message boards, and go to Shill Your Crap, that part of the message board, and that's where the Dawn auction is. And you can place your bid there. You can also you can email me at reel, R-E-E-L, at, little at symbol, nctv.com. You can email me, pardon. You can email me there and place your bid there if you want to. And the bid closes on October 24th, so plenty of time to mull it over in your brain if you want to bid on a damned old cheap teddy bear. But this, to me, this it's valuable because this is the main bear in the movie, and to give it up is kind of a big deal to me. But it's going toward a good cause to purchase equipment for the next movie. And I want to go high definition, widescreen, and yes, color. It's going to be in color. So that's the plan, and like I say, still in the planning stages. It's going to take a while, folks, so, but I don't give something for nothing. I don't give, So you're not only getting this, the winner, you're also getting a signed copy of Dawn, the DVD, by me and maybe some other cast members, but at least by me. and a copy of that sell sheet I showed you, which is very rare. There's not many of those left. The Dawn sell sheet. I'll sign that. So you're getting those two, and depending on how high the bid goes, I may even throw some other things in the pot. But anyway, there you go. And I'm going to close with that. So that there you have. Talk about how long this has been. Probably been ridiculously long, like the first one. So sorry for that. But I'm going to close. Me and Penny. And so long, folks. Hope you've enjoyed my little tour of the cheap DVDs. And bye-bye.